Going live. Welcome to the stream tonight. We're sneaking in here. Okay. We're not really that late. We're a little earlier. The last one we had was like at 12 o'clock or something, 12:30. Yeah, so we got an update on Henry and we got some other things that we need to talk about because we gotta get this eviction process tightened up a little bit, how we understand it or whatever. Now, one of the things I want to say, well, first off, in our program, everybody doing the best they can. Everybody is doing the best they can. They're doing the best they can. Excuse me. I think it's important to remember that we're making up the rules as we go, just like they asked us. Okay, so it's not all just laid out, and there are, some little wrinkles that but we're learning. We're learning. Now, Henry is still in his house. D and his family got evicted today. And D and I are going to figure out what happened or. Now, it doesn't always mean, and I learned this working with that young lady in Sedona, Arizona. It doesn't always mean that you messed up or made a mistake or that our program don't work or, well, I'm not going there because, like I said, we're making the program up. But you understand what I mean. As these people are on some straight BS doing all the stuff they're doing, and but we're going to figure it out. We don't have very many people in the program that ends up in the situation. So we're going to figure out what happened and see what we can do to get that back on track. And so with that said, we're going to be talking about the eviction situation tonight and the changes that we made. Now, Henry's still in his house. I just spoke with him. They were supposed to come and put him out. He's just recovering from his stroke. But, thank God he's still in his house. And so we sent over today a few more documents that we need to have put in his case. Now what we're doing is we're attacking it on the state level. And we found you have to crush it on the state level. If you don't, they'll be lying to the federal court and tell them they have jurisdiction still to stall you while they move you up on the list. So, we clouded the title with the judicial notice of fraudulent conveyance and the judicial notice of less pendants. And I think we filed a counterclaim for the illegal eviction. Now, those documents came from the $99 package. And then we made a heat letter and put a little heat behind it, but, they still haven't contacted him and to let him know that they dismissed the eviction process. So it's been a week or so. So we're not waiting any longer because we already know they're on some BS. They're not used to getting punched in the face like they're getting it right now. Okay, but we're going to change it up a little bit. We got, we filed a counterclaim, and we just usually do that to jack with them people because anything you file in their case, and this is why we don't like challenge jurisdiction. Well, we actually do, but in a much different way than most people are accustomed to. And we don't because, if you file in their case, and they got a rule on it. And so they're just going to go sit down and take time out and try to run you out of time so they can get you up on the list. Okay, so, we just did that to get their attention, and then we clouded the title. Well, we actually clouded the title, but when you do the the fraudulent conveyance. That's letting the court know you're challenging the theft of your property from the shuffle of paperwork. I mean, that's just plain and simple, right down so a boxer and an ex-football player can understand it. Okay. And then you come in with the lis pendens lien, the notice of lis pendens. Now you just wrap that up. Nobody's going to make any money off of that until this is handled. So in my head, you move yourself up to the number one lien holder, because you're challenging the original lien holder, and these people down here with their BS ain't moving up ahead of you. Not from what we've learned. So that's one of the things that everybody should be doing is clouding your title. You get that $99 package, clouds your title. At the $99 package has the counterclaim for the illegal eviction process, and it has the federal lawsuit for the eviction process. Now, it doesn't have anything for the foreclosure, which you don't need. It's easier to handle the easiest stuff than to bring all that complicated shit to the table. It's and we already learned that we need to keep the eviction process separate over here from the complicated stuff. Okay, but now we're going to bring our counterclaim, or excuse me, the verified RICO counterclaim. We're bringing a different counterclaim. And then we're going to actually file it as a claim too in the case. We're going to file a counterclaim and then see what they do. Then we're going to file a claim in the case and see. No, we may even start another case. I don't know. We're going to see how. Okay, but see, here's the thing. We're going to do the RICO on this eviction stuff, and the reason is what I'm finding out is when you bring the RICO, the judge recused themselves. It becomes a hot potato because we did this. I did it twice. It becomes a hot potato. They start passing it all around. I actually put together a package to stop that, but it was for myself, and there wasn't a lot of value in it, and we don't have very many people doing that yet. Okay, well, just wait a minute now. Let's stop and think about that. If they don't want to talk about it and they're going to stall, this eviction process is where we need to have that at. Now they can stall all they want to. I can give you, and then, while you're over there getting your stuff filed in federal court. Now, when you come in, now this is for federal court, but we're gonna make one for state court. We're just gonna keep. Okay, you guys remember how this works? Okay, we need to build up our certified docket sheet over her, that our certified docket, the entire docket that we're going to take over here with us to verify. That'll be your evidence. That'll be evidence that they violated your due process yesterday. Okay. Yesterday, not 10 years ago or whatever. So we decided we need to be using the RICO for the eviction process, because they're trying to hurry up with that, but they got a hot potato with the RICO. We should match those two up right there. Slow their ass down. So that's what we're doing. But that's not all. We ain't never going to the table with just one thing. Sorry. We're going in. We're going in Also, with a demand to dismiss. Mm. And now y'all didn't think we're done. We want to send it. We want to make sure that we're providing something for them. My grandma used to say, to chew on. Mm. We're gonna come to the table with that too. Temporary restraining order and injunction and to quit and all that. And all that. Okay, so that's what we're doing with Henry. So sometimes when people get a lot of times when people get stuff from the court, they're rejected or whatever, and then they start blowing up my phone or texting me or emailing me, even though they know they didn't get the premium package the way they should be calling me. I'm just saying. And it's like, I don't need to communicate with you on the day that you get bad news. Okay, you got 14 days to respond to their stuff. Okay, I don't need to communicate with you. Most of you. There are a couple of people that I don't do well with fear. I don't do well with people thinking that they're just going to let you walk in and do whatever the hell you want. I got people thinking that they have rights. Well, hello, y'all asses don't have any rights, and I don't give a shit what color you are. Ask Dr. Joe Bob. His name is actually Gary. You can ask Gary. Yeah, we were talking. He said, my white ass don't have no rights either. None of us do if they can get over on you because it's about the money. They don't give a shit about you or your color or whatever. You in or you out. You a bar member or you're out. Okay, so this eviction process. So if you do get if you're when all right when it happens to you, okay, first of all, before you go in there, your ass ought to know they're gonna jack you, and you ought to be studying, looking different ways or whatever, what your game plan is gonna be, when to do, and stuff. And so I can't believe they did that. Oh, what the hell you think they're going to do? They're in administrative court. They can do whatever the hell they want until you sue their ass. And communicating with me after that, it doesn't have. Okay, so when you communicate with me, it has to have value for both of us. So think about that. When you communicate with me and you're maxed out and you're grumpy and angry, you're not listening to anything that I said. I can't coach you. I'm not sure why you call me in that state. I'm just saying. And I've said over and over, if there's a situation, then you need to do your homework, do some research on it, figure out what they're trying to do, what those words mean. If there are any words on that page that you don't understand, you should be looking that shit up and see and figure out what it means. You need to figure out what you think they're trying to do, what you need to do to punch them in the face about it to stop it, and why they're trying to do what they're doing. And and then you can come up with a game plan. Now, when we talk in the coaching group, or if you invest in a premium package and we're talking on the phone, now, coach, this is what they did. This is why they did it, and this is what I think they're trying to get out of it, and this is what I think I need to do to punch them back in the face. What you think? Now I can coach you because I have an idea how your head is working right now. When you come, oh, I don't know, I can't do shit for you. You have to be the one to bring some shit to the table so I have some kind of idea where you are with the coaching. Now, if I tell you, if you contact me and I can tell from the tone of your voice before you even start talking, okay, Dad, you got stuff there and you're maxed out and we shouldn't even be talking right now. And if I tell you to contact me back in a day or so after you figure out these things that I say all the time that you have to do, and you don't contact me back, then it's probably not going to, because I can't remember to call everybody back to do all this. It's your job doing. If I tell you to call me, then call me. If you call me and I don't pick up, it's because I'm talking to somebody or working with somebody, call me back. Keep calling my ass back. Don't leave a message. Okay, I don't have time to spam people, leave messages. I don't have time to check all the messages. People wanting free stuff and free help and pro bono and all of that stuff. I don't have time. Leave a short text. That works best. Okay, so stopping the eviction process. Now, I'm going to tell you guys how we stopped it, and we're just going to kind of go over how this evolved to what we're doing. All of the stuff that I'm talking about now, when I say we, I'm talking about the feedback from all the people that helped us learn what we need to be doing. So the rain's moving in, so I got to sit on my yoga. Okay, so the way we stopped the eviction process in the beginning was, well, we filed the stuff in municipal court or the JP court or whatever, but you have to understand that court is a piece of crap. They don't have jurisdiction to do anything. They're not even connected to the other court. Okay, so people will be filing stuff in there and waiting and yelling and waiting, and they'll tell you we can't talk about that or we can't. And they're right. So they shouldn't be doing it, but don't nobody do nothing about it. Right. Okay, so you file the stuff over there, and you get file stamp copies because you want those file stamp copies to prove that you filed the stuff, and they didn't do nothing. They answered to it, so there was a violation of your due process because the way it's supposed to go is they drag your happy ass in there, then you beat the ass of my stuff. Okay, sorry. But you know what? When I'm bringing fire to the table, I can be silly about it if I want to, I think. And when I get to the point where I'm like doing this, then I won't be here. So, okay, so you beat you beat their ass to the So the way we used to stop it is we filed it in the municipal court just to get file stamp copies to show that we opposed it, and then we filed a case for $195 or $200 in the state court against those players. Now, some places will just try to fake like they don't know what's going on or whatever, and then behind the scenes try to get this shit handled. So some places don't care, and they'll tell you we're not connected to them, which is a total lie, because what happens when you get stopped with a traffic ticket over there in a shitty court is they drag your ass into court and tell you got a date, and that they want to screw you over, take more money. Then they send you over to your information on to the prosecutor, the state prosecutor over there in the other court that's supposed to be halfway kind of whatever. Okay, and then they send you out another charging document. Oh, they just charge you. Okay, so the point is that we stop them in the state court and force those players to visualize shared liability because they're all, but I don't think we sued the state in the beginning. Okay, and then we went to federal court, and that worked pretty well for most people. And I've moved it a couple of cases without having to pay because we sued the state or whatever. But that's very complicated and it takes someone that's persistent. Had to clean that up just to her. And that's how we did that. Okay, and then we started figuring out, okay, now we can crush the state court process by using federal case law and federal acts, and adding the state and the judge right to their own stuff, and leaving the lender off because you put the lender on there. They're gonna think you believe their bullshit, and they're gonna ignore everything that you bring to the table. Everything you bring to the table, you got the lender on there, or the servicer, or any of that shit. Okay, so if you don't get the federal, the federal filing is what controls the show when they get done playing and bullshitting. Okay, a lot of people will go with the state, whatever, and they'll see them scurrying around, and they'll be over there, and people be, and that's all. It's all fine and dandy. Okay, I don't know why people don't get their happy ass over to federal court. It's another $400. Okay, it's $400, or your property, $500,000, couple. Let me see now. Let me do the math. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe people think that they got a handle by the way they're scurrying around right there. Okay. Remember this. You're in an administrative court. They changed the rules for you. Okay, because they're not following none of those damn rules. I ain't saying I don't. They changed the rules for you, and they can do whatever the hell they want. It's not connected. It's not a judicial court connected to the Constitution. It's administrative court. People get so mad. You're an administrative court. They can do whatever the hell they want to. That's why I don't play around over there. I do not play around over there. I want to crush that as quickly as possible. I'm not trying to rush around and act like I need to be on defense. Okay? Because that shit is ridiculous. Unless you're about to get pushed off in a day or so. Crush that shit. They can't answer. Okay. When you're at the state who's paying and bankrolling, paying the judge has a conflict. Oh, so now we add the state and the judge, and then the attorneys who started that shit, or the prosecutor, whatever, we add them as plaintiffs to the counterclaim. Bam! You don't have to serve them. You don't have to $200 million counterclaim for all this stuff that you're gonna file against them in the federal court. They can't answer. They cannot answer to any of the stuff that's in the counterclaim because it's federal case law and federal acts. Bam! Oh, I love the way my buddies think. I had these buddies, they ride on my shoulder and stuff. And so, so that's a check down right there. Oh, wait, 2 check downs because you just added their asses to their own action by adding those plaintiffs to the counterclaim. And then there's another check down because, well, they can't respond to federal case law with statutes and codes. Bam! Okay, there's another check down. They can't litigate a case that they're a party to. Bam! Oh, We still checking the hell down. Uh-huh. We still checking down. There's another check down. They can't represent themselves. I know y'all don't think I'm done with the check down. Oh, hell no. They can't represent each other from the same law firm. That's check down. Okay, so you want to check down, be an ass about it, include the State Bar Association in your lawsuit, and now that's like 67 check downs. I don't think Mahomes checked down that many that many times. Okay, with all of them check downs, I don't know how anybody can be getting a check up because their assets should be going down. Check down, check down, check down, check down. Unless you don't understand the check down. Unless you added the servicer or added their asses, the lender or whatever. Unless you took out shit and changed it to add your situation in it. Oh, that's a big one for me. That's a check up because that allows them to kick your ass. You add your person, coach, you need to know your situation. No. I've had people get mad and hang up on me because I ain't listening to all that shit. You can't use none of it. Your situation is you're being violated in administrative court, your due process and all of that. Everybody's shit is the same, pretty much. Even on the criminal, the first step for the check down on both is they got your administrative court and they're violating your due process. So there's one check down, two check downs. Everybody's all the same. So people telling me that shit now, you don't understand. Okay, you don't understand. We have learned that we need to be addressing the why they're able to violate us and not the what so much. The why. The why is because they violate your due process. They got your administrative court. They just all their whole system is built to do just that. And when you live this for your life, and this is your therapy for what they did to you, you learn all of the check downs. It's like a keto. Y'all seen Stevens ago? You use their own shit, their own weight, jam their ass up. Oh, wait. Bar members can't represent a case. They're a party too. So if they bring this fraudulent shit, add them party. Oh, they can't represent each other. They can't litigate. Oh, the judge can't rule on orders when he's a part of. It's simple. It's simple. But people get their heads stuck in that conventional bullshit over there. I gotta run around, get all this case law. Where you gonna get that case law from? They put that case law out there for your ass. They did. What's the difference, Coach? Well, do you know the difference between case law from statutes and codes? Do you know the difference between case law from the Constitution or case law from the statutes at large or case law from common law? I know what you're thinking. I ain't never seen none of that shit. Okay, you know what? Do the check down. Okay, here's the thing. The facts trump the shit. The facts, trump the shit. The facts. You come in at the gate. The first cause of action is fraudulent concealment. I don't really need a case law for that. It is a federal doctrine, so if they wanted to see, you can, Oh, that's simple. That don't require. Oh, yeah, and then violation of the Tucker's Act. The Tucker's Act is a federal law, so is fraudulent concealment situation. It's a federal law. The Foreign Agent Registration Act. That's also a federal law. Mandates that they do all this stuff. They ain't doing none of that shit. So how they gonna have standing to be up in somebody's face when they ain't even follow what they asked is supposed to follow to make it fair for us. Oh, wait. That's the way the program is set up. Okay, you know what? So here's something to think about. Does Rico? Oh, I went through their judge canons and all of that stuff. I went through them. And I didn't get a third of the way through them when I finally realized that and this is my opinion, YouTube. I got a third of the way and I realized that those canons were nothing but the outline for the recall operation for the judges. Go look at that shit and look at it with what in mind what I'm saying. I'm looking at, oh, well, the judges can't do this. They never know. Wait. They do that shit all the time. They just put that shit in there for us stupid ass people who read it. Oh, they're not supposed to do that. No. But they did. Let me file an appeal. Oh, you think you can file an appeal? I don't think so. Appeals are for judicial courts. What are you talking about, Coach? Come on now. Appeals are for judicial courts. Your ass ain't in a judicial court. Okay, I'm going to lay it out. To be able to file an appeal, you have to have the judge has to provide finding the facts and the conclusions of law. They don't do that. They can't. They can't because they started in shit over there, and they're never going to be out of the shit to be over here on the Constitution side or the common law side or any of those sides. Okay, so the second way we started stopping the eviction process is by filing the document in the eviction court and then getting the document filed in federal court, just skipping the state court process. But you have to be real tight. You have to be real tight, and you have to make sure you get the people served on the federal level, and you have to make sure that all of those things work out. You know, people telling me, "Oh, well, they said I couldn't do this." Well, did you research it? Who is they? They lie all the damn time. I'm just saying, they lie all the time. People leave, and what they tell you, people take that shit and leave and walk out and think it's the fact, and they don't even look it up before they call me or message me. I don't want to hear that shit. What the hell did Google say? I think I'm going to trust Google over their asses, especially if you're bringing this fire up in the table. Oh, they're gonna lie right to your face. They're gonna lie right to your face and try to redirect your ass back to the fear. You guys can listen to that when I was Henry, the first update we did with Henry, where in the end it shows we're listening to them talking, and on my phone I have put it, and we're listening to him talking, and the ladies, he found the judicial notice of fraudulent conveyance and the judicial notice of less pendants, and he filed a counterclaim for the illegal eviction process. They fraudulent concealment tolls the statute of limitations, so the statute of limitations don't stop. You can do whatever. Oh, they was having a hard time with it. And one person back there yelled out, "Did you get the order?" Yeah, the order from the sheriff that to leave on your door or whatever. And so I told Henry in his ear, because he had his earpiece on. And I'm like, dude, don't even engage that lady. Just look at the lady that took your stuff and tell her, could you just put that on the court record? My legal team is the one running the show, and I don't know nothing about that stuff. This is when you play dumb. Now, some people have a hard time with that. This is when you play dumb. You play dumb when the police pull you over. Some people be getting mad. Now, put that on the record. I tell them don't engage them, don't argue with them, don't explain nothing. If they ask you something, just look at them. I ain't playing. I am not playing. I would look at them as long as they want to stand there and look at me. Put my shit on the record, please. I'm getting hungry for lunch. Oh, okay. So everything has to be lined up because you know that when you punch them, they're going to be on the phone. They're going to be on the phone, calling over there, trying to figure out where the holes are. Or even if you know what the hell you're doing or have an idea. They're going to be trying to, I mean, I'm just looking at, if I was them, I'd be sizing your ass up. Oh, no. No, I'd be sizing your ass up when you got the car in the parking lot. Uh-huh. You're walking common to look like, okay, ain't nobody got time for that shit. I'm just making my point. Oh, what words do you use? Do you use the words out of the document? Do you talk soft like you're just worried about? Or do you speak up, Now, I did have to mention Henry now to watch his tone. Because, when they're jogging with you because you're kicking their ass. Okay? They're jogging with you because you're kicking their ass. If they have your stuff, there's no need for you to be angry. When they come back and tell me, Mr. Neighbors, we're not filing your shit today. Here's your stuff. Take it back. I say, see ya. I don't want to be ya. And leave. I would not take none of that shit back. Are you kidding me? Mm-mm. They're on camera somewhere. I know they got my black ass on camera. Okay. I mean, they don't need to because I ain't trying to do the violence and do that stupid shit. Okay. You don't need to if you have the fire that you can burn the ass with over here. So, don't get upset. Don't take the stuff back. I would not take, nope, Mom, thank you. I gotta go. I have arthritis. Do not take the stuff back. I wouldn't. Do not take it back. Okay, so if things, and I know I don't, we're just putting this program together, so I'm not going over this like everything's set in stone. Do this, and then you're done. You don't have to worry about it because that's not where we're at. But I will tell you that they only win when your ass gives up and sits the F down. That's, if you get to the point to where they're locking you out, you're taking quite a bit. Yes, you're taking a beating, and I'm sure you gave them, but they but in my head, so that's kind of where I'm at on that. People who in the situation or people who are getting close to the situation, you need to figure out where the hole is. There's a mole somewhere. There's a snitch. Okay, sorry. I'm going back to the hood. Okay, but you know what? The analogy for all of that shit that, because it's what's going on over here. It's just going on in the court with a bunch of assholes that think that they have a right to do that and can get away with it and get away with it. So, if you get the state court, the state, and add the judge and add those people to their own stuff, and then, get your case filed in, I don't know how, and, I don't know everything, but that has been working for. Now, I do know they make you jump through some hoops, and they tell you a bunch of lies, and when people tell them, "Oh, the court said," well, what's your research tell you? What? Research. Nobody should ever listen to what they tell you in the damn court. Any bar member or anybody that works for them. I mean, you listen, okay, but that's not what you're going to put in your head. You're going to take that shit and turn it around and go over there and look it up turned around. Or look it up the way it is. Because if you've been in this program, then you know. Okay, let me put it this way: you can smell the stink when it comes out of their mouth. So you ain't got to look it up. So if you're in the eviction situation, you got to figure out where the hole is. So one of the first things I ask is, I'm eating my nuts. You gotta eat healthy. You want, one of the first things I ask, if there's a situation, if they're stalling, a lot of times they'll stall and people think that's great and not move on and get the shit done, because our program is bam, 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 bam. You keep punching until you get. So one of the things I ask, if they're stalling or if there's a problem or if they're ignoring you, who are the defendants? That's my number one question, I think. Who are the defendants? And if you tell me the servicer or some stupid shit like that, I'm gonna make your ass run some laps. Okay, now seriously, who are the defendants? And keep in mind, when you get to this defendant thing, people get emotional and want to punch everybody that pissed them off along the way, and that's the problem. The more people you add, now we do e-intel, we do a supplemental pleading to make changes. We can add anybody or whatever we want. So there's no need to do that. Keep it slim. Who are defendants? Well, state. You want to pay? Who's paying? Who's paying? Who's getting paid to jam you up? The hitman or woman. I ain't trying to keep all right. And then who signed to start all this stuff? Now, if you're in the eviction process, then you want to do with the state, because the state is the one that committed real estate deed fraud to get your deed in their office in the first damn place. And then, and then the buyer and the attorney for the buyer. People put the attorney for the buyer first. I had the buyer ahead of the state. It doesn't really matter. But I have the state and the buyer in those. And anybody else involved, LLCs or whatever involved with the eviction situation. I would add, you don't want to keep it slim. Keep it slim, because you can add, change, whatever. It don't matter how many people you add. As long as you got the money, you got the person that took the money. This keeps sounding like the hood, don't it? And you got the person that set that shit up. There you go. Okay. YouTube is going. They're gonna be grumpy, but they're gonna be all right anyway. So if they ain't grumpy, your ass ain't doing nothing. So in my head, the federal court filing is what we should be using to maintain control. And some people tell me, oh, they said I can't, I have to serve the parties with this. I have to do this. I have to do that. Did you look up what you And then later on, they looked that stuff up and they found out, wait, there were some other options, but they didn't. And some people like have corporate or bosses and work a lot of hours. So We got that new package together for defamation. It's a whole lot easier to explain. Some people, military veterans, they have brain injuries. I have a few people that have been in car accidents. The defamation lawsuit package is pretty simple. It's on the website, and it's $50 right now. All of our stuff, I've been marking down stuff. It's $50, and it's a complete lawsuit. It's a foreclosure defense defamation lawsuit. Okay, because here's the thing. There's a thing. I don't go by the case law or whatever. I go by the facts. And the fact, Jack, is that when they reported that you're in default on your alleged mortgage loan that they allegedly gave you, but it was fraud, when they reported that you was in default before they got a judgment, and in non-judicial, they took your shit before there was even a court hearing. When they do that, they defame you. You suffer financially. You can't, your credit score takes a dive. You can't rent any place if your score is shitty. They did all that before they even got a judgment. That's defamation. And like a doctor, if you're a doctor or a professional, or if I'm a professional stay-at-home dad, I'm still a damn professional. So I'm going with professional defamation, and I'm going to make them try to prove that I'm not. Because when you roll with professional defamation, they changed the laws a little while back, and it no longer requires all of that stuff. The professional defamation situation does not require proving all of those things that most people pull up when you start looking for that. It doesn't. They changed the laws a few years back, and now when you bring this professional defamation to the table, we're going straight to where we tell them we need to be in the first damn place, and that's in the settlement hearing. Because if they published that shit or said that shit and it wasn't true, there ain't no need to be doing all that shit. They changed the laws. And we have a lawsuit on the website with $50 to address the foreclosure defamation situation. Oh, that's easy. They said that I was in default before they got a judgment. That's it. No case law. Bam, that's a little judicial shit right there. We just threw the dude over in the fireplace. Think about it. That's simple. Now, did I say that? I made something easy? I'm getting old. I'm getting old. But it's fire. And then we got some $99 packages that you need to be getting to cloud your title. Even if you're not in default. $99 package you get, or it has a notice of fraudulent conveyance and a notice of list pendants that you can file against your own property to move your ass up on the In my opinion, YouTube, when you use a notice of fraudulent conveyance, which means that they stole your house with a shuffle of paperwork. Oh yeah, that's a whole lot easier trying to explain the numbers and who bought it and why there's only one signature on the shit and all that. Yeah. But clouding your title makes them not want it, and also, and I thought about this today, and I'm going to figure out how to do it. How we need to connect that judicial notice or the fraudulent conveyance notice, how we need to connect that and make the court look at it more. Yeah, the wheels are turning. So that's the situation on the eviction stuff. It's a process that you have to go through. to make sure that now we're kind of figuring out how to stop it right in the state court, or at least that's what I'm working on with Henry. And this is kind of a we got last minute. We can now they haven't responded yet, so we filed stuff today, and I think let me see next week. Then we'll go back after and we'll go back and get a certified copy of the entire doc sheet, so that we can get our situation filed in federal court. They want to just wait and see. So we ain't waiting around. I mean, we'll give them a couple. They got 14 days, but I'm not giving them 14 days. I'm sorry. They say they get whatever. I say they get whatever amount of days that I'm going to give them before I feel like they're figuring out a way to jack us over. So, and that's like 4 maybe 4 days of meetings, and that's it. Okay. We're just keeping it real. Hey, Frederick. Welcome to the stream tonight. We're jumping on here at the last minute. Let those people over there in Illinois see what Henry going to be filing tomorrow. I think you're probably watching. Those nuts are good. Now I got a new service that nice to see you here too, young man. I got a new service that I'm busting out. I'm not sure what we're going to call it yet. I think we're going to call it the tag team eviction situation. Most of the people that I'm doing this for are people that have been in the program for a while. But I'm going to open it up and offer it to other people too that are just getting in the program. But it's not going to be cheap. And if you guys saw what we did for Corey and what we're doing for Henry, and so that's kind of what we're doing to kind of help get. It's kind of nice. We do it that way. Then and I email the stuff over to them with some letters and some other words and stuff. Oh, I guess that makes me a non-bar constitutional attorney. No, I don't even. Just call me Coach. I can't do the attorney word. I don't care what's before it or what's after it. Okay, because I just call me Coach. That's going to work out better for me. So. But we're figuring out some stuff, and we have a few people taking hits, but we're trying to figure out what's the situation so we can get it under control. Now this is the lawsuit package with the RICO, and I'm gonna do a screen share. Bam! The RICO foreclosure eviction defense lawsuit empowers homeowners to expose fraudulent court actions, challenge void judgments, and restore property rights through federal due process laws. The built-in 42 U.S.C. 1983 and 18 U.S.C. 1692. This powerful filing provides the protection you need against the eviction and foreclosure fraud. It teaches you how to identify due process violations, assert your constitutional property rights, and enforce accountability. And like I said, this is going to be the premier thing, in my opinion, for jamming up the eviction process. We had to figure out some kind of way to do this because people getting evicted can't afford demand damage. The people that aren't getting evicted can't afford demand damage. So this is what we got. We got this new package right here. It's $300 package. And when we bring the RICO to the table, what I figured out is that they play hot potato with it. They don't want to rule on judge, recuse himself, send it over to another judge, send it over to another judge, send it over to another judge. And so I actually was working on a package to stop that. But right now, we're going to use it in our favor. Now, this is where the coaching comes in. So we don't have to win. We just have to outlast them. We have to force them to visualize shared liability, but it's like holding your breath. Who's going to hold your breath the longest? You don't have to win. You have to force them to visualize shared liability. And the counterclaim strategy is badass. And this is what we use in all of every package that we have, the counterclaim strategy. If you're doing this on your own at home, you should be using a counterclaim strategy too. The counterclaim strategy with the 67 damn check downs we talked about at the top of the okay, you're probably gonna need to get my documents to get all of those check downs. Okay, but you know what? If you do this right, you can back them in the corner. Oh, and one other thing that I found out. Oh, this is some dirty shit right here. All of the time that your stuff got dismissed or failure to state a claim, that whole thing is total bullshit. Total bullshit that the attorneys, the judges, they all stick in people's face. The failure to state a claim is total bullshit. We learned some stuff over here. And this is what this $300 package brings to the table. Yeah, the document enforces why it works. It enforces constitutional law, no opinions, no theories. It's built off of the same statutes the federal prosecutors use to dismiss fraud rings and RICO and it works because the administrative eviction courts operate without jurisdiction, and this filing proves that on the record. And if you do this the way we have it set up, by the time you're ready to go to federal court, you'll already have a complete docket of them jacking you around. And now that's what you want to argue instead of all this other stuff. Sorry. Yeah. So you get the verified complaint for the illegal eviction. You get the counterclaim for the illegal eviction. You get demand to dismiss the action for defective pleadings, temporary staying order, and injunction. Notice of fraudulent conveyance. Notice of less pendants and a bar card. Damn, you get all that for $300? What the hell's wrong with me? Take control of your case. That's what's wrong with me. You got to shit right now. Take control of your case. Every eviction is built off of fraudulent foreclosure. Concealed transfer can be stopped. File the RICO foreclosure eviction. And then if you don't have this problem, but you respect what we're doing, we got the donate button right there. You hit the button and you can make a donation to help somebody else. And these are some of our other offers that we have. We have a foreclosure defense RICO writ. Yeah, we got some powerful stuff, and we've been marking it down. Well, dang, that one was 40,000. Yeah, that one came. I probably should have put my glasses on when I was working on that one. Oh, yeah, that one came down from 40,000 to $500. Okay. Yeah, I think I hit too. I think it's the situation with my fingers trying to do the typing. But if anybody wants to go ahead and pay that, I would be. No, I couldn't. I couldn't do that. Okay, people be calling me a damn attorney. Yep. It makes it real hard when there are parties. But some people it only stops them for a while because some people have been in there and have trained the government employees to disrespect them more than usual. Yeah. Some people go in there and piss them. Some people go in there and like believe everything they say. And when you go file your counterclaim, fraudulent concealment totals of statute of limitations. If you're trying to open up something that happened a long time ago or something that happened long enough ago where they can try to get the hell out of it, they're going to tell you. No. And that was too long ago. If you understand the fraudulent concealment federal doctrine that tolls the statute of limitations, then they're not going to pull that. I mean, they'll try it. And then what I do, after I talk to the supervisor and this person and educate them, if they still wanted to, then I would just handwrite the supervisor's name over here as a damn defendant while they're watching me, and then I would date it and initial it while they're watching me, and let them know that they're going to have to get another supervisor or something to file your document because you just added that supervisor to it because they're not found. They do not have. Okay, nobody has any judicial authority up in there. Okay, so just work with me here. If somebody did, it ain't the clerk. Okay, then the clerk actually has more power than the judge in the real shit, but we ain't in the real shit. So just work with me here. The clerk does not have the authority to make a judicial determination on my document or on anybody's document. And that's what I would, excuse me, do you have judicial authority to make a determination on my document? I like to look at myself. And you wait. You do not say a word. I don't give a shit how long a time passed. It could be the next day. You could be sleeping. They could be sleeping. In the clerk's office. Okay, my head over. Yeah. Oh, I'm gonna just wait them out and make them explain to me how. Mm. But then when I get done signing the names on there and putting the date and time, I'm like, no, you guys are officers of the court. You have more authority than the notary down there, and I can pay you $5 if you want me. Can you stamp that and sign it? So, okay, never mind. No, once you add them to the shit, then they're done. That's just like the counterclaim. You add them to their shit. I don't know how they're going to continue. I don't even know why the attorneys didn't tell you we could do this. This is what happened when you have 33 months to sit around and figure out how to kick these people's ass because they won't let you go. Now, don't start getting all twisted because I ain't never been convicted of anything, nor have I ever took a deal. And anybody that stand there to say they ain't never been convicted better throw that deal shit in. Okay? Because they be bragging over there. They got 98% conviction rate. No, it's a plea rate. Thank you. It's a plea rate. And on the federal level, the attorney that they provide for you to help you to make sure that your rights are protected. Well, anybody that been through that shit, no, it's the total opposite. Now, what I know is that as soon as you take the deal, the attorney is going to get a $3,500 assistance of counsel bonus on top of whatever they're paying him or her to burn your ass because your case is hot. Ask your attorney. Hey, if you got an attorney, you should get rid of him and get my prosecutor eliminated package, and then I'll coach you. Because that's how we go to do. Ask your attorney. Did you get a $3,500 assistance of counsel bonus when? No. Put it this way: if I took the deal, would you get? Because if you're here, you ain't taking the deal. So, I asked my attorney that one time, one of my 14 attorneys, and he got real pissed off, jumped up in my face. Well, he was short, so he was trying to, and he actually spit on me. It was disgusting. And told me that I need to stay off the internet. And we met in this in a Dillon store where people could do their schoolwork and stuff with internet access, and everybody knew me there. When he came in and started like that, everybody got up and started leaving. I was like, wait a minute, he might hurt me. Okay, sorry. $3,500 system of counsel bonus. So he yelled and got him in. So that was the answer right there that I needed. And if your attorney gets you to take the deal, you're going to get screwed later because the judge don't have to go by that. If you pissed them off and they don't like you, then they're going to talk over there. Oh my God, he signed, he did it. And then the judge is going to say, well, you signed that you're guilty of making do all this shit. We're not doing the deal. Oh, wait a minute. She said she ain't the one. Prosecutor ain't the one that works out the deal. How's that? Oh, yeah, just like, the fair state of claim. Prosecutor not the one to work out the deal. The judge either, unless you're in judicial court. I don't know what the hell that is. That's in New York somewhere. Okay, it's time for me to go eat. Thank you guys for the value of sharing your time. This eviction thing, we got some stuff on the website cheap to help you with the eviction process and the clouds your title. If you're not in the eviction process, you guys need to get over to that website, winningcourtnow.com, and get the firepower that you need, and click that red button at the top to make a donation. Thank you. I got to roll.